summer of happiness. We're all thinking about how to be happy. Suz, I love your book so much. I was looking at it. You have so many just happy, fun activities to do in there with your family. What's made you happiest recently?
Well, actually, it's funny. I took my daughter, who's 17, to the county fair that we've gone to every year since she was a little baby. And she still wanted to go, which was great. And my husband was working, so just she and I went. And the really fun thing is we went to this fair, and we actually did something there that we had never done before, which was we went to the demolition derby.
Whoa.
Which is, it was great. Right?
Cool.
Yeah, you pay a separate entrance and you go on the racetrack, and we watched this derby, and we had such a good time, and we were laughing. And it was really great because we did this family tradition, and yet we made a new memory out of it. So it was kind of perfect. It wasn't pure nostalgia walking around the fair. But still enjoying something we did and then creating something new out of it. It was just a blast. We actually want to go back.
That's fun. What about
I would say there's two things that are really, that bring consistent happiness to me, and one is family. I mean, there's nothing like family, and you know, I'm blessed that my folks are an hour and a half outside of San Francisco, and I think Father's Day was a perfect example. You know, my sisters were there, our husbands were there, my father was there, the grandbabies were there, and it was just like, yeah, I wanted to have and like sit and have that moment and go, oh my God, this is what life is all about. Like, this is a whole, we're just hanging out and drinking, and we're all here, and it was so simple, but it brought such joy. It brought such joy. And then the other thing is my girlfriends. I think there's nothing better than, you know, that's how I take care of me, is connecting with my girlfriends. And if that means, you know, a glass of wine or meeting for lunch, going for a walk, that brings me happiness.
Absolutely.
Well, yeah, I have one thing basically is I find time each day. I try to break down a day to actually have a conversation with each of my family members separately. That's my immediate, my boys and my husband. And I actually have to force myself, because sometimes I go through the day and I'm realizing, you know, I don't think I've talked to anyone in my family. And that just brings me so much happiness, because I ended up learning things about, you know, my kids have been doing that I wouldn't have had otherwise. And we also have a family vacations that we do that we actually all love.
And you get your kids to like put their phones down and have a conversation back with you?
Yeah, they know it's a requirement, man. No allowance unless, so we have.
Good.
I have to say there's a little bribing involved in the beginning.
Bribery's good.
But they look forward to it after a while because they connect, you know.
Absolutely.
I think for me, there's a couple of things that really like just make me smile, and one of them is making a recipe from start to finish and having everyone be like, that was so good, and it's so healthy, because I'm not very domesticated. So for me, it feels like such a huge triumph to be able to do it. So I've really been enjoying like the summer farmers market and just making fresh local food. So that's been a lot of fun. And then the other is always family vacation. Nothing beats just hanging out at the beach or going camping and just being together with our 3 dogs and just unplugging and enjoying each other.
So I read something really interesting recently, which says that you actually get as much happiness from looking forward to something as you do from the actual event itself.
Oh,
so,
really?
Yes.
Interesting.
So a lot of studies show that like you should always have something planned out, because the anticipation brings you actually as much happiness. So one thing my husband and I really started trying to do is like as soon as the weekend's over, we plan at least one thing we're definitely going to do the next weekend, even if it's like go to a farmer's market, like just something that you have to look forward to. And I found it's a very good strategy.
That's a great way to make sure that you actually do things that are
That's
important
right.
to you
Yeah.
too, right?
Exactly.
So plan it out ahead. Otherwise,
right.
you might not remember to do it.
And then you get stuck. I know there's plenty of weekends where my husband and I are like, we're kind of bored, and I know you're supposed to enjoy the now and like be in the moment, but we're kind of like, we wish we were doing something else, and that's not a good feeling. So we should take your tip.
And one thing too that we've done is getting back to the things that we did as young kids, playing with the jacks, you know, teaching checkers and just board games, puzzles, and the girls are like, oh, you know, because then there's no technology, there's no television. Yeah, they're like, what is this thing here?
Wait, I can't swipe it.
Exactly.
Like, throw it.
Board game, what is that?
Yeah. And the simplest things are the best. You know, it's funny because a lot of times I've had people talk to me on my book tour and say, you know, that night that the power went out, we had so much fun in our house playing games. And I always say, gosh, don't wait for the power to go out.
That's
you know, make
right.
your own pioneer night or whatever you have to call call it, make a fire, turn the electricity off, just play games, just have fun. Play tag in the park, play hide and seek. All the games that we loved, our kids love even more because they're even rarer for them.
I think sometimes the fun of having rules is when you get to break them, and it's fun. Like I don't always give fried food in our house, but we went to Great America and we all shared a funnel cake. Ooh,
that's
it
great.
was like,
That is fun.
That is it's sugar. Sorry for all the gluten-free, sugar-free everyone out there, but we were like on your mark, get set, face dove into the funnel cake.
And then you're in a food coma. You're like, oh god.
Gotta get a picture of that.
Absolutely. That's so fun. So anyway, let's all commit to doing more things that make us happy this summer, spending that quality time with our family and our friends and kind of a little more time out of our devices.